All right, guys, it is Friday. We are back with the replica for today for a preview before Saturday, the real life race. This would be the 2024 Denver Supercross. I'm pretty happy with the track. It is a bit smaller than I thought it was going to be when I was doing it, but overall, pretty happy with it. There is some line choice on it, and it flows pretty well. It is a bit different. I made it different, just the way you take it from some of the other replicas I've done, but overall really happy. And I had a different video planned for today, but it didn't work out. I'm hoping to have it for next week. We'll probably do Salt Lake as well, but for today, let's just jump into it and check out 2024 Denver. Okay, first up, we have the track walk in first person. We've got Jet Lawrence here taking us around Denver. So I put a pool, a whoop, and then a table trying to simulate the stepped table we've seen a bunch this year. Then we have a triple, step on, step off, Supercross triple. And then this rhythm section, you go step on, step off, triple, but you can triple over the table and then go triple. I wasn't able to get the quad, but you can triple. Here we go, double, triple, triple, triple. Now, there should be one jump at the very end I don't have because I ran out of room. That's the only reason I don't have it. Then we cut across the start straight a bunch just to basically pad, if you will, the lap times. And then we have the whoop section. We turn back down the start straight. We'll hit a roller and then the finish line. And then the sand after that. So the track is pretty simple. It doesn't have anything crazy difficult or unique about it, really, but seems like an okay track. One thing I want to talk about before we do a race recap is I have seen some people complaining, wishing the tracks weren't so ruddy or soft, and that they wish the track had more passing opportunities. And I would agree with the passing opportunities. I do wish the tracks promoted more passing. We have a bunch of 90s, and yeah, we have some 180s, and we have some 180s going across the start straight, but since there really isn't an obstacle they have to go through, that's a really tough spot to try to make a pass. We saw it with St. Louis, I believe. St. Louis had a section similar to what we see here, and everybody's going into it the same speed, basically, and then, you know, it's just hard to make a pass. And now, I do believe it was St. Louis, right, where Barsha KO'd Jet in one of those sections, I think. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, I do wish the tracks promoted more passing. The 90s can be tough to pass in and whatnot. As far as the ruts go, I don't really care. If it's dry and hard pack, great. If it's really soft and ruddy, it's fine with me too. I mean, the tracks have been soft this year, but we've had a bunch of rain. We've had a bunch of rain forecasted, even if it didn't. I mean, this has been a very wet Supercross season, right? It's been a while. So, yeah. Now, the track was good, right? It was good. I feel like it's just a normal Supercross track based off of the ones we've gotten this year. So, that's kind of how I feel about the track. Now, I want to talk about Jet a bit. Jet won Philly easily from start to finish. He did, however, have one mishap in the heat race. He went down in the first turn. But he got back up to fourth place, right? Unbelievable. In a heat race, last place, and then gets back up to fourth. So pretty crazy, but he won from wire to wire. Unbelievable. Jet doing Jet things. He's just the best, the fastest, and he's so smooth. And I mean, that's a tough combination to beat, right? It's a very tough combination to beat. So in my opinion, he has to win the 450 title, right? I mean, anything is possible. We have 2 races left. We have Denver and Salt Lake, but I mean, he's got to be the favorite, unless he beats himself or some really bad thing happens to him, like the Barsha mishap incident. He's going to win this championship. I mean, he was tied with Webb 2 races ago, and now he has a 12-point lead. Webb didn't have a great night. We'll talk about him a little bit later in the video, but Jet is just incredible, right? He's incredible. So here we have Chase Sexton. Sexton did get second place, and I would say he had, aside from Jet's ride in first place, I would say Sexton had the next best ride. Not because of him being in second, but he had to actually make some passes, a few passes or a handful of passes to get into second place. So And that was on a track in Philly that he said, a few other riders said, was very, very difficult to make passes on. So, very good ride from Sexton. Feel like at the second half of the season he has been better, but they have shown some statistics that this is pretty normal for Chase Sexton, for him to do better on the second half of the season. And also coming off of that big case crash he had in Nashville, for him to have not gotten hurt, and then to come back and get second place and put in such a great ride is pretty impressive. I would, however, have enjoyed or wanted to see him get a better start or be closer to Jet to see if he could, challenge Jet if he was whether he was in front of him or behind him. It would have been cool to see if Sexton's pace would have been able to keep up with the way Jet was running that night. But it didn't turn out that way, and he never was really able to catch Jet Lawrence. So Sexton gets second, but he really isn't in the championship hunt. Jason Anderson got third. He had a really good ride. He looked pretty good all day, and then in the main event, he had to spend a majority of it trying to get around Tomac. Tomac, by the way, got 5th place, and then once he got by Tomac, he put in some really good laps and was able to catch up to Cooper Webb in 2nd place, and then he put a pass on him basically right after the whoops in the final corner on the final lap. So he got him in the last corner right before the checkered flag. So Anderson looked really good. I did see a few people kind of complaining that he rode Webb hard. I don't really know why you would complain. I mean, this is his job. His job is to do the best he can and finish in each race the best he can. And I saw somebody saying or talking about how there was probably a substantial amount of money difference from 4th to 3rd place. I mean, this is his job, so I don't know how anybody can be upset about it. It wasn't dirty. He did nothing wrong. He didn't do anything dirty. It wasn't a dirty pass. If anything, I feel like Webb probably got too close to him, right? I mean, depends on how you look at it. I know in this sport, everybody kind of has their favorite riders and whatnot. I personally don't really. I just enjoy the sport of Supercross and motocross. I want to see good racing, tight racing, good battles and whatnot, and not see dirty riding and stuff like that. But this wasn't dirty riding. It was just a great ride by Jason Anderson for 3rd place. And one thing I want to say about Anderson is I am a bit surprised based off of how his season last year was. I really thought by now Anderson would have a win, and it's starting to look like, unless it happens in Denver or Salt Lake, and it doesn't appear he's going to get that win. So I am a little bit surprised he didn't or wasn't able to snag a win. And then we switch over to Cooper Webb. He is 12 points back. He was in 2nd place. Tomac, his teammate, I wouldn't say he let him by, but he didn't make it difficult on him to pass him. He kind of went outside and let Coop go underneath of him. So Webb was able to get into 2nd place, and he was able to keep Jet within 3 or so seconds, 3.5 seconds for the first part of the race. And I heard he was working on sprint races, trying to keep Jet in check at the beginning. The problem is he is pumping up. He said he pumped up and got a bit tired towards the end of that race, you could tell, and he started fading. And it's weird to see Webb fade the way he has. Not fade, but get tired and sometimes fade the way he has this year. And I really do believe it's because he's trying to run that really, really fast pace that Jet is doing, because Jet is just so gifted at what he does, and the pace is just a bit too much for Webb, and so he's pumping up. And I do want to mention the 250 race was incredible. The 450 race really wasn't that great because not too much happened, but the 250s, incredible. Watch it if you have the chance. The top 6 guys were 1 second separation from each other. So 6th place was 6 seconds back from 1st. And Anstey won his first race, or not his first race, his 2nd race, I believe. Really cool. Really happy for Max Anstey. Just really cool. Always enjoy listening to him with his interviews and whatnot. But the 250s was incredible. Vial had a championship ride to 2nd place. Deegan also had a great ride to 3rd place, so that was your podium. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'd be really curious to see about all of it. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.